Everybody really fake as fuck.
What?
This is facts. And the sooner that you can grasp this, the better your life will be.
This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The suspicious death of Barry Jennings after surviving Building 7. I could go deeper, but you guys already know about this guy. If you don't, leave it in the comments. I'll do a deeper dive. But for my members, you already know they super not gonna let me talk about this on CensorTube.
King Solomon's influence on Western ceremonial magic comes from the belief that King Solomon did not control demons through the power of God.
Come from the belief. So it's not true. We just believe it. We don't know. We just believe it.
But instead controlled them and binded them through the use of complex ceremonial magic, using the subtle energies of the planets in alignment with certain days of the year, mixed with sigils or certain angels and demons' names, to call these beings forth to do their bidding or to ask them questions.
Now, Jews, Muslims, and I'm not sure about Christians, but I know Muslims definitely, because I used to date a Muslim girl. But I digress. And she told me King Solomon asked for something that he had never given to any other person, and God gave him the power to control demons. That's just what she said to me. That's what they believe. I don't know. She did ask me to marry her, and I said take your top off, and that kind of like ruined the whole relationship. I should have waited a little longer before I tried to disrobe her. Anyway.
And these practices became more popular around the 1700s. And with the release of books such as The Lesser Key of Solomon and The Greater Key of Solomon, books that list the sigils of the demons Solomon captured in the Testament of Solomon, and mixing it with ancient rituals that stretch back into antiquity. The belief that one can call forth beings or the gods is way more ancient than Solomon himself, but he is credited to be the one that perfected and mastered that skill.
But did you know a guy like Sammy Davis Jr. was into Aleister Crowley?
You know what I realized about Sammy? That was coke.
Things go bad with coke.
The whole thing with the mouth like this.
It was?
Think about it. That whole era is cocaine.
I don't know anything about drugs.
Sammy is like this with that cocaine mouth, man, and the way he would laugh and hug and all that. He was totally coked up.
He's a candy man can.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
Sammy told me he worshiped the devil. We were in Dan Tana's on that restaurant with all the pictures of him. Sammy was like, you know, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Here's another thing about God and demons. I think God did give Solomon this power that he never gave to anyone else, because in order for regular people to have power over the demon, you have to worship it. That's the devil is in the details. I told you, Lucifer, he's a comedian. He's got a good sense of humor.
You look at pictures of him, he looks like he's singing special music at church, you know, or Sting, you know, the musician from the Police. You know, he was into Crowley. I hear him at the dentist office, you know, in the waiting room. It's not like dark, evil, hip-hop and satanic, dark, psychedelic rock music, but we got to be careful when we look at the worldly things and try to say, well, I'm going to do worldly light. You know, I'm going to do things that aren't as dark.
I just had to stop him because hip-hop didn't start out satanic. It got hijacked. And I think when they started making Satanism in hip-hop popular is with the song Party Like a Rock Star. Before that, you couldn't be openly down with demons and act like it's all good. To my knowledge, from what I remember.
One of the people in the music industry who said, we're doing witchcraft music, was actually the Beach Boys, who you'd think they're totally innocent. We were doing witchcraft.
So, and that was the next thing I was going to say. Dave Ben was talking about the devil when it comes to rock and roll.
Beach Boys, I thought they were innocent, just singing about, you know, going to the beach and going surfing and so on. And so,
well, you have to make it seem fair seeming. Again, this is what my Muslim ex-girlfriend would say, the devil has to make it fair seeming. He don't just tell you, go sleep with a baby to get magic powers. He makes it seem like it's not even that bad at all. The baby's ugly. Come on now. He makes it seem like it's all good. And you'd be like, oh, I guess it's only one kid. I don't got to eat the baby. I can just put his blood on my face. Oh, okay, all right.
You know, I could quote a number of people that would really surprise you in terms of them also being into these things. How about I Love Lucy? You know, she got her ideas of being on I Love Lucy from a communication from a dead loved one, a dead friend.
I'm going to bring this whole thing back for the people who are coming from these other creepy talkers, you know, your favorites, and you think I'm supposed to be like them. We're different over here. But Lucy is short for Lucifer. But let's bring it all the way back. Allegedly is short for Lucifer. We don't know. We think, but we're stupid.
But did you know a guy like Sammy Davis Jr.?
Wait. Let's make it really spooky and add some creepy talk music to it. Put it on right quick.
But did you know a guy like Sammy Davis Jr. was into Aleister Crowley? You look at pictures of him, he looks like he's singing special music at church, you know? Or Sting, you know, the musician from the Police. You know, he was into Crowley. I hear him at the dentist office, you know, in the waiting room. It's not like dark, evil, hip-hop and satanic, dark, psychedelic rock music. But we got to be careful when we look at the worldly things and try to say, well, I'm going to do worldly light. You know, I'm going to do things that aren't as dark. One of the people in the music industry who said we're doing witchcraft music was actually the Beach Boys, who you'd think they're totally innocent. We were doing witchcraft music. The Beach Boys, I thought they were innocent, just singing about, you know, going to the beach and going surfing and so on. And so, you know, I could quote a number of people that would really surprise you in terms of them also being into these things. How about I Love Lucy? You know, she got her ideas of being on I Love Lucy from a communication from a dead loved one, a dead friend. So the devil's really working through this. Don't try to find worldly light in the things that aren't as bad. Come apart and be separate, saith the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you. And that's the joy.
You know, the truth is, it is a simulation, you know. And we told you that before you linked into the thing. And we told you it would wipe your memory and that you would feel like you are helpless, in the sense that the thing you are right now, you don't know what the power that you wield. So you chose that, just, you know, and we said that in this moment we would do a thing where we alerted you of the fact that you had intentionally decided to dive into a simulation, making you limited. Very powerful. You're Thor. In the human world that you're in right now, you're actually Thor. You're a powerful Norse god that has gotten sucked into a very temporary, like, magic spell that isn't even that powerful compared to the powers in the world you come from. But right now you have become convinced.
He's switching simulation, but I think he's saying you willingly walked into this musical contract. You willingly walked into this magical contract. You want to be a magician? Yeah, that's a demon helping them. They're not just magic. The demon is helping them. You can't see it. It's in another dimension and it's moving stuff around. You didn't know that?
Now here is a video with irrefutable proof of demons at work. Now watch closely. Performing such a feat defies gravity, something scientifically and physically impossible. Here is where it gets really interesting. Look closely. You notice that black shadow or demon behind him? Again, performing this is totally impossible without the help of an entity. Did you see it? The demon has been behind, assisting him all the while. Climbing up invisible steps? Just how did he do this? Can you make out that translucent pair of black hands catching him? So, how did this little boy pull off all of these impressive stunts? Is he dabbling with black arts and demons? The ending is really interesting as the demon finally shows itself. So, is this demons at work? As always, you decide.
I thought you came over from these other creepy channels where they be talking about this stuff. Well, anyway, that's what he's talking about. You walked into that. You walked into this acting contract. You knew that you was invoking spirits to give this Oscar-winning performance. You knew that.
What happened on Casualties of War?
And then the way they fired me was gnarly. I get to my first day of shooting. I get to my first scene with Sean Penn. Never heard an accent. Mumbled during rehearsal. Action! Hatcha, let me ask you a fucking question. How many times I gotta fucking tell you keep up in the line? You do this one more fucking time, I'm gonna make you hump water for the next 2 clicks. You hear what I said?
I mean, a body bag's a body bag, right? Who's counting?
It's my first scene with Sean Penn on the movie. And I go like this. I'm sorry, can we cut? Wait. Watch, dude, watch. Watch. As he's running, Sean just walks away. And dude, on my eyeballs, Brian De Palma goes, he says, you don't cut my camera. And I go just like this. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I don't know what to say. I just need to know, is he really going to talk like that? You don't ask what Sean is going to do! Do you understand me? I won't ever ask you again what Sean's going to do. 3 days later, I was fired.
That's funny. That's what Lucifer gonna say. You knew that. You knew it was eternal flame. Boy, you better go ahead now. Go get in this fire with me now. Come on now. Allegedly, that's what Lucifer will say. In fact, who's that? Lucy? Ain't no such a thing.
Which you requested, by the way. You said, I want to be an insurance agent, real estate agent, school teacher, psychologist, fireman, cop. I wanted to be a pilot, somebody who was a flight attendant.
A popping off YouTuber, 400 million YouTube likes. I didn't do that. I didn't do anything.
Someone who worked in a museum, teacher, somebody who was a historian, a failed writer, a failed comedian. And you became this temporary thing, but the truth is you're a god and you're confused. Joe, welcome back!
But that's not real. Let's go back to talking about ghostesses. Why does that look like Papa Smurf?
The Little Red Man, an entity known as a harbinger of tragedy and disaster across France, appeared to some of the nation's most prominent figures for over 260 years. Catherine de' Medici was the first person to see the Scarlet Spectre.
Boy, pull that hair down, she's a minx. My boy Angel would have saw her and been like, come here, mommy.
When she came face to face with it in 1564, she described it as a gnome-like creature dressed in all red. She is now remembered for the infamous Bartholomew's Day massacre. Henry IV of France would be the next person to see the entity, right before being assassinated by an insane school teacher in 1610. Marie Antoinette saw the being in her palace one day before a mob stormed into it and ended the monarchy. Napoleon first encountered the Red Man in 1798 during his Egyptian campaign, striking up a deal with it. It promised him victory for the next 10 years. The Red Man predicted the campaign would eventually fail, and that Napoleon would face a horde of European forces upon returning to France. After the Battle of Wagram in 1809, Napoleon wanted a 5-year extension of their agreement. It was granted by the Red Man.
The Red Man? Like the rapper Red Man? There was reports about him worshiping the devil in the 90s, and he came out laughing and joking and said, I don't worship the devil. I didn't really think much of it because we're black people. We don't fuck with the devil. But now, I don't know.
On one condition: Napoleon avoid Russian conflict. The request was ignored and it led to a devastating loss. Napoleon would be visited one final time in 1814 with a warning that if peace was not had within 3 months, there would be dire consequences.
Well, what was the dire consequences? Join and we'll talk about it.
Copper blocks radio frequencies. And what are they trying to put out all over the place? Cell phone towers, so that they can come into your home. So when you get into copper, it actually blocks radio frequencies and works to help protect the body. So if you wear copper too, it helps to protect the body too. But
is this why copper is so expensive? Is this how the government gets people to get copper for them? By telling the junkers, hey, we'll pay you extra for copper, and you go out and get it, and I don't know. Allegedly, I don't want to, because I connected a dot you didn't want connected. So I don't fucking know why they do it.
Don't want to tell anybody that. Got to sell them some DuPont plastic instead. People who are going against it are the people to keep you sick and poisoned and just keep you in a perpetual loop. That's all it comes down to. Honestly, like everything I've realized is people just want to keep people at a low frequency, not teach them about copper, not teach them about any of that stuff. It just keeps them in this perpetual loop of sickness. And I've had people who've reached out, they have taken copper and wrapped, for example, their arm, and all of their inflammation in their arm has gone away. It costs like $2. They didn't have to take any weird inflammation pills that came with like 10,000 side effects, including none of that. All they had to do was get a little copper and then just wrap that area that they were feeling the inflammation, or their body sending out a signal that's saying there's a lot of inflammation and pain and too much electricity in this area, and the copper helps ground that and balance it out.
Terrifying if you or a loved one gets caught off guard without motorcycle insurance.
Hey motorcycle riders, there's a new law in Texas that went into effect September 1st that you need to be aware of. It is now officially on the books considered illegal to do lane filtering or lane splitting. Lane filtering and lane splitting is where you drive between two rows of cars, say on the dotted line or close to the dotted line itself, in order to get past a slow-moving group of cars or to get ahead of a stopped group of cars. Violators can be charged with reckless driving, which has a penalty of up to a $200 fine and up to 30 days in jail.
I swear this piece of art I just made is sentient and aware I'm actually scared of her. Bro, stop drawing pictures of your ex, man. Jesus, the relationship is over with. My God, you're like LeBron James crying for Kyrie Irving, man. It's done.
I'm not in a cult. I'm not in a cult. I'm in a house. I'm in a house right now. And you guys, I literally do whatever I want. They just tell me where I can go, who I can talk to, what I can wear, what I can eat, how I gotta look. That's normal. My family doesn't get it. They don't know what it's like to be in a house. That's not being in a cult. I just hate my family. I mean, honestly, I saw a side of them that I had never seen before. Not just because I haven't seen them in 14 months. Like, relax. I literally just saw you 2 Christmases ago for like 5 seconds. We're having fun. We make TikToks and it's so fun here. It's so fun. I mean, you just have to work. It's America. 8 hours of reading the Bible, that's standard.
I was okay. I was just thinking, damn, these cult leaders be having the prettiest women. How in the hell do you get this attractive woman to just do whatever you tell her to do and not do whatever you tell her not to do? What's your secret, player? The Bible. Damn, I shouldn't have paused it right there. She looks batshit crazy.
Yes, Lord. A mother was horrifically killed while attempting to take a selfie next to an oncoming train. 29-year-old Dulcie Alondra was with her young son to watch a vintage steam train pass through a town north of Mexico City. As she attempted to take a selfie, Alondra pushed her son away from the tracks moments before she was struck by the vehicle. Alondra later died from her injuries.
Wow, what a waste of 2 attractive women. Fucking cult leaders, man.
It doesn't matter what you say to someone once they're gone. What matters is how you treated them when they were here.
My battery's at 4 and I really want to talk to you. I just wanna be with you. What will we do? There's literally nothing to do. It's not like we could play dolls again. I wish you lived with us. I want you to stay with me. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. I'm just gonna miss you.
I've missed you all this time, and it will never ever go away. I will love you forever. Forever.
Okay, let's get back to the creepy stuff. I mean, it is pretty creepy that LeBron James is sending love notes to this dude that he didn't want on his team no more, and that he trashed for the past, almost 10 years? Now he is fake crying and sad that they're not teammates. It's like your girlfriend when she finds out you got a new girlfriend. Now all of a sudden he was a good man, and man, I wish him the best. Bitch, no you don't. You don't wish him the best of luck. Sit your hating ass down. You know damn well you be seeing them out together and you feel like this.
Bullshit. Okay? These fucking assholes, these fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem?